Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Adam. Thanks for joining us again on our YouTube channel. Today we're going to be focusing on transitions in our yoga flow. So some big transitions, some small, all very important. So let's get started. Find our way into our hands and knees. So as you make your way into your hands and knees, you start to rock the body side to side, feeling out the hips, the shoulders, ankles, knees, wrists, fingers. Maybe start to draw some big circles around the wrists. Find a little more activation. Squeezing the fingertips as you find that rounding. And then just make sure to hit up that second side, opposite direction. And start to take notice of your breath here while you're finding this movement through the wrists, movement through the shoulders. All right, and coming back to center. We're going to do one cat and cow, very long hold on each one. Right, so knees hip distance apart, shoulders stacked over the wrists. The inhale, bring the head up, tail up, drop the belly down. Then pausing here. Just squeeze the fingertips, wrap the elbows in towards your chest, as the elbows facing forward. And then as you start to squeeze the fingertips, pull the chest through. Feel the shoulder blades start to pull together behind you. Tailbone's flaring behind us. 2 more breaths here. Squeezing the fingertips. Gaze shifts up, flare through your collarbones. Big breath in. As you exhale, slowly passing through neutral and coming to our cow pose, or I'm sorry, our cat pose. Chin to chest, same idea. Take your time, press into the hands, and then slowly start to elongate through the spine, pressing more up through the upper back. Maybe the hips start to rock back towards the heels, feel that stretch in the lower back. 2 more breaths here. Alright, and come back to your neutral spine. Curl the toes. And we'll find our way into our downward dog. Now once you make it into your downward dog, find a few breaths here, pedal out the feet. A little bit of movement. More awareness in the shoulders, more awareness in the hips, the legs. Find the activation in the fingertips. And then from your downward dog, let's walk the feet in about 6 inches. You can widen the feet, a little wider than hip distance. And then we're going to drive the heels towards the ground. So coming right into the hamstrings pretty soon into class. If the heels don't touch the ground, maybe walk the feet in a little more so that they do touch. And take the legs as straight as you can. Press the hips up and back, feel the tailbone start to flare. Nice, and keep the feet where they are. Right hand's going to come underneath the body, grab the left ankle, and then try to bring the gaze underneath your left armpits. Feel that big hamstring stretch on the left side. Big side body stretch as well. 1 more breath. And then release left ankle, come back into that shorter downward dog, and then we'll switch sides. Left hand's going to reach underneath the body, grab for the right ankle. And start to bring the gaze up and under the right armpit. Still driving through that right heel. Maybe even pushing through the right hip. And then slowly release back into your standard downward dog. So walking the feet back to where you traditionally have your downward dog. And then stepping the feet together behind us. Inhale, lift the right leg high. And then we'll bend the knee, open up, finding our half scorpion. Few breaths here. Keep the right shoulder pressing down, lifting high with the right knee, trying to stack right hip on top of left. Now from here, keeping your half scorpion, squeeze your right fingers, especially your thumb. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, slowly arc your right knee forward and touch your right elbow. That's first of 3. Pressing with the right fingertips, inhale back to your half scorpion. And as you exhale, slowly coming forward, find that nice big arc, knee to elbow. 1 more time. Inhale, half scorpion. Exhale, that slow arc, knee to elbow, pause here. And then lizard pose, right foot outside of right pinky finger, left knee hits the mat. And then we'll start to find a little movement side to side. So opening up through the hips here. As you find a couple breaths here in the movement, pause your movement, keep the right leg wide, and we'll take a wide half splits. So rocking our hips back toward that left heel. With our right leg pretty wide, you have that movement in the hips. So find a little wagging of the tail, a little bit of freedom of movement here. Then next inhale, come forward back to your dragon pose. Left hand plants, right hand comes to the inner right thigh, spin the knife edge to that right foot, and slowly start to open up the right hip. So creating space in that right hip before we move into it. Just a couple more breaths here. Gaze can start to shift over that right shoulder. And then gently, right foot comes back to the ground. Curl the back toes under, and we'll move to side plank, left side. Right foot steps back on top of the left. You can drop your left knee if you need to modify this for side plank. And just finding some integrity into the shoulders. Lift the right hip. Squeeze your left oblique. And feel the right side of the ribs open up. One more breath. And on the exhale, back to your high plank. Right hand down. Find your stability first. Downward dog on the exhale. Nice, feet together. Inhale, left leg lifts. Bend the knee, we'll find that half scorpion. Couple breaths here, left shoulder down, left hip up. Finding movement in the ankle or the knee if you wish. And then we'll find that nice movement forward. On the inhale, lift your left knee. Exhale, big arc forward, left knee to left elbow. Squeezing left fingertips, control your descent. Inhale, half scorpion, slowly up and around. On the exhale, slowly back, knee to elbow. Find that big arc. Press into the fingertips one more time. Inhale, half scorpion. And exhale, slowly coming forward. Just tapping that left elbow, left foot to the ground, right knee hits the mat. And we'll find that passive lizard pose. Always option for movement. Movement might help find a little more depth than you're used to. Also helps move that synovial fluid around, that protective fluid around our joints. All right, now if you're moving, pause your movement, and then we'll sit back into that wide half splits. And same deal, as soon as you rock back, you can start to find a little movement side to side, little wag of the tail, maybe the arms lengthen a little farther forward, pressing into the fingertips to traction that left hip back. Find your fullest expression, one more breath. And then slowly come forward, right hand plants, left hand comes to the inside of your left thigh, and slowly start to peel that left knee open. Gaze can shift over your left shoulder, just finding this nice big twist with our hip opener. Just a couple breaths. And slowly release our twist, both hands to the mat. Right knee lifts, and we'll find our side plank variation. Stepping back, left foot on top of the right. You can drop the right knee to the mat. But once you find your side plank, press into the right hand, squeeze your right obliques, and lift your left hip a little bit higher. One more breath. And then come back into your high plank. See if you can control that transition. Downward dog on the exhale. Beautiful. Now step the feet together. Inhale, right leg high. Knee to nose on the exhale. Pause here. Press into the fingertips, squeezing your thumbs. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Hold it here. Find that engagement in the upper back. Flex right toes. Step between the thumbs, crescent lunge. Feet hip distance as you rise up. Biceps framing the ears. Pinky fingers roll in towards each other, facing the back wall. Now adjust through the hips, push your left hip forward, draw that right hip back. Stay deep in your lunge, take a breath in. And warrior two on the exhale. It's a nice strong foundational flow. Setting up our lunges, opening up through the hips, and finding some integrity in the lower body. Now keep the right knee pressing the knife edge of right foot, and flip the front palm and now reverse your warrior. Now feel that big openness on the right side, just like that side plank we just took. Just feeling that openness. One more breath. And as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Maybe moving through a chaturanga, stepping the feet back, or keeping that right leg lifted as you lower down. Up dog or low cobra. Downward dog on the exhale. All right, feet together. Inhale, left leg lifts. Next, I'll knee to nose, squeeze it in, hold it for about 2 breaths. Press into the thumbs, navel into spine, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg lifts. Next, I'll knee to nose, hold it here, find that engagement, and then we step through crescent lunge. Feet hip distance as you rise up. And settle in with your breath. And same kind of idea as last side. That right hip forward, left hip back. Strong in your lunge. Stay deep in that front knee. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, warrior 2. Back heel drops, opening up the hips. Arms open wide, extending to the front and back of the room. Sink deep in the front knee. Draw the left knee to the knife edge of your left foot. And then flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Left arm up and back. A big expansiveness in the left side of the lungs. Deep in your front knee. One more breath. And as you exhale, flowing through your chaturanga. Option to lift the left leg as you lower down. Left dog or low. Downward dog as you exhale. All right, let's take a strong breath in. Big exhale. All right, inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees. Exhale, step, hopper, jump to the front. Landing forward, fold, feet together, top of your mat. Half lift, inhale. And folding on your exhale. Inhale, chair pose, arms up, hips down. So finding our first chair, we're starting our big transitions here. So first with our chair, sink down deep, press the knees together. Now feel the activity in the right foot. Inhale, left knee lifts, one-legged Tadasana. Pausing here, find your footing. Left toe to lift towards the knee, take a breath in. Dekasana airplane as you exhale. Extending the legs and the arms back. Little lift through the chest, squeeze through the shoulder blades. Drop your left hip as you lift the chest. Nice, strong in the standing leg. Next inhale, open up half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Arm spread out nice and wide. Get the expansion from fingertip to fingertip, and pressing firmly through your back heel. Start to soften the front knee. We slowly step down and back into warrior 2. So right back into our warrior 2s. Strong front leg. Hands draw to heart center. Now working with that hamstring flexibility we've been creating, Skandasana, straighten the front leg, left toes turn out as you start to sink down. Now the hands can come down to support the body. If your left heel does not touch the mat, keep your hands down to support. But if that left heel comes to the mat, you can find your left shoulder to the inside of your left knee. Maybe finding your way into a twist. We have about 3 more breaths here. So if you're opening up the arms, focus on keeping the spine long. If your hands are at heart or hands are at the mat, it's really focusing on that right hamstring. Now wherever you're at, hands come back to heart center. We're going to move back into our warrior 2. So you can use your hand strength or your lower body strength. Pressing back into your warrior 2. Find your footing. Left hand comes to left hip. Coming back into our half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. So coming forward under that right leg. Find the expansiveness in the chest. Strong into that right leg. Maybe a little bend to the right knee. So we come into our Dekasana airplane. So right back into our airplane. Lifting through the chest. Squeezing through your shoulder blades. Left knee drives into the chest, stand all the way back up, one-legged Tadasana, both arms high. And then chair pose back into our chairs. Adjust your footing as you land. Back into your strong chair pose. And then left leg starts to get really heavy. So press the ball left foot, inhale, right knee comes up. One-legged Tadasana. Take a big breath in. Airplane as you exhale, extend the right leg back with the fingertips. So we're dropping the right hip as we lift the chest. Very actively rolling the shoulders back, exposing the collarbones. Now slowly, half moon on the exhale. Transitioning on that left leg, left arm down, right arm reaches high. Find the expansiveness in the chest. Very active through all 10 fingers. Right heel pressing behind you. Big breath in. Soften front knees. You exhale, warrior two. Try to get to your warrior two nice and slow, controlling your descents. Arms spread out wide. And then pressing into both feet. Feel the strength in your hips. Hands in a heart. Finding our way into Skandasana, straighten the front leg. Right toes turn out as you start to sink down. And then same options. Hands to the mat if your heel doesn't touch the ground, or the hands to the mat if that just feels comfortable. If your right heel's on the ground, maybe hands to heart center. Or if you find a twist on the other side, finding a twist on this side. And a couple more breaths here. Lengthening from the tailbone to the crown of the head. All right, hands back to heart. Coming back into your warrior two. So strength of your legs or hands is an option. Strong into your warrior two. Arms out wide, settle in. Right hand travels to right hip. Back into your half moon. Slowly transitioning onto that left leg. Once you're stable, both arms lift. Airplane pose, Dekasana, right side body comes down. Expand the chest forward. Feel those collarbones start to smile forward. Right knee bends, stand all the way back up. One-legged Tadasana. And then we sit down into our chair pose. Big transitions. Sink down into your hips. Then inhale, stand all the way up. Once you're up there, bend the elbows, take a big standing back bend on the exhale. Pushing the hips forward. Inhale, rise. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga, plant the hands, step, jump back. Moving with your breath. Downward dog as you exhale. Breath in. Exhale. Feet together behind us. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose and hold it here. Lift to your left leg or left hand. Spin to the knife edge of your left foot, side plank. Now the right knee stays lifted unless you need support, and you can drop that left knee. But try to get expansive with this right leg. Maybe extending the right leg towards the ceiling, finding your fullest expression wherever you want to go. And then draw the right knee back into the chest. Come back into your three-legged plank. Both hands down, right knee into the chest. Spin to the arch of the left foot and start to lift the left arm towards the ceiling. Taking our side plank variation on the other side, same foot, other side. Just 2 more breaths here. Lift your right knee into your chest. Then slowly come back to your three-legged plank. Right leg extends back. And flow through your chaturangas. Low down. Inhale, upper dog or low. And the exhale, downward dog. Nice job, other side. Feet together, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, hold it here. Gaze to the right hand this time. Spin to the knife edge of the right foot. Left knee stays into the chest as we open up into our side planks. Be expansive here. Play around. Find where that left leg wants to go. Maybe finding extension with the left leg or left arm. Just a couple more breaths here. Left knee back into the chest. The left hand comes back to the mat. And then we'll spin to the arch of the right foot and lift the right arm towards the ceiling. Taking our side plank variation just a little differently. Keep the left knee driving into the chest. Squeeze your left thumb. One more breath. Right hand comes down. Left leg goes back. You can keep it hovered as you flow through your vinyasa. Dog or low cobra. Downward dog as you exhale. Nice job. Take a breath. Big exhale. All right, feet together. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot through, drop the back knee, and we'll sit back into a half splits. So one more time, really opening up through this right hamstring. You can walk the fingers farther in front of the right foot, tractioning that right leg back. 2 more breaths. Next inhale, come forward, and then launch into your standing splits. Left leg high into the air, so big transition to your standing splits. Options to get upside down. Maybe wrap your right hand around the right calf. Couple more breaths here. All right, standing splits. Left knee drives into the chest as you stand all the way up into our one-legged Tadasana. Both arms high. And then a couple options. You can grab the outside of your left knee for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana or peace finger wrap the big toe. Right arm shoots high. Big toes kick it forward if you got it. Then everybody let's peel it open. Left to left, right to right. Very focused on opening through the hips and the shoulders. Play around with the gaze. Maybe a little back bend here. Just a couple breaths. All right, everybody come back to center. Left knee to the chest, both arms high. Then slowly extend back into your airplane pose. And then gently bend the right knee. Crescent lunge. Control the descent. Arms lift high. Settle in. Strength back into your right leg. Pull the right hip back. Strong breath in. Vinyasa as you exhale. Hands to the mat. Option to lift the right leg or keep it down. Up dog or low. Down dog as you exhale. Nice job. Last active side. Feet together. Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot through, drop the back knee, and sit back into your half splits. So opening up this left leg one more time, but also building some understanding of where you're going. So knowing that we're going to transition to that big standing splits in about 3 more breaths. This idea of how you're going to get there. One more breath. And then next inhale, slowly plant the left foot. And then we lift the right leg, standing splits. And once you get that right leg up there, you can bend the knee and open up for open hip standing splits. You can wrap your left hand around your left calf. Draw on forehead towards your knee. So lots of different variations. A couple more breaths. Everybody back to standing splits. Square the hips. Right knee drives into the chest as you stand up into your one-legged Tadasana. Both arms lift. And then right hand can capture the outside of the right knee or peace finger wrap your big toe. Left arm stays high if it's not there already. Big toes extend forward. Everybody let's peel it open. Finding nice strength on the standing leg. Openness in the hips. Reaching strong to the crown of the head. Slowly close the hips back off. Both arms lift high. Extend right leg back, Ekasana airplane pose. So feel the full extension of all your limbs. And then we'll bend that left knee, slowly landing into our crescent lunge. Both arms lift. Find your squareness of the hips. It's about 3 breaths here. Active fingers, active feet. Big breath in. Last vinyasa, hands to the mat, slow with your breath. Downward dog as you exhale. And let's bring the knees to the mat and take a melting heart. So knees hip distance apart, hips stacked right on top of the knees. So the hips are high into the air, not back to the heels like our child's pose. And then you can have your forehead to the mat or your chin, whatever feels best. We want to have a big slope to the spine, so from the tailbone all the way down to the base of the neck. And breathe here. Feel the breath start to normalize back with the body. There's about 20 more seconds here. More breaths. And then slowly come forward onto your bellies. And once you make your way onto your bellies, we're just going to roll onto our backs. Draw your knees into your chest once you get there. And find a little rock side to side. And we'll find 2 bridge poses before we end class. So draw the feet down to the mat. Make sure the fingers can brush the back of the heels. Arms are down by our sides. You can exhale. And as you inhale, press into the heels. Start to lift the hips into the air. And feel the shoulders start to press into the mat, keeping the weight out of the neck, nice and high through the hips. And breath in. As you exhale, slowly release the hips back down to the mat. All right, second set, bridge or wheel pose. Second set of bridge if you like what we just did, or if you'd like a wheel, hands come back by the ears, fingers point towards your shoulders. Take an exhale. As you inhale, lift up. Whether it's just the hips or it's the hips and the shoulders, whatever is in your practice here. You got about 15 seconds here, whatever you want to do with that 15 seconds. You're going to walk the hands closer to the feet if you're in your wheel pose. Traction those hips up. One more breath. And as you exhale, slowly bring the shoulders back to the mat for your wheels. Hips to the mat. Last for all of our other poses, bridges or wheels. And then we'll take a Supta Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees open up wide. You can have a hand on the heart, hand on your belly. And today, this is where we're going to end class. Nice hip opener. Nice resting position. And you stay there as long as you can. As always, thank you so much for joining us on our channel. If there's any suggestions or comments, please leave them in the comments section. And subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste.